Laurie Cardoza-Moore is she's had 20 years experience in media. She's been a part of over 500 film and video productions as spokeswoman or on-screen talent and producer. She's given her voice has been given a national platform by various media outlets and very diverse, such as CBN 700 Club to Jon Stewart and CNN's Anderson Cooper 360. And her opinions are extremely newsworthy because they deal with the subjects of this new rise of anti-Semitism around the world, in the United States, and even in the Christian community. It's freaking me out. And she also speaks very boldly to the biblical responsibility of Christians to stand up for the nation of Israel and for our Jewish cousins in the Lord, if you will. So her website is pjtn.org. That's Proclaiming Justice to the Nations. It has been grown to become respected as a definitive go-to resource for the truth in media. Laurie, I was looking at your list of board members and quite a who's who list there, but I noticed Dennis Prager was on your list, and of course he broadcast the Dennis Prager Show. He broadcast right here over WEBY as well. Laurie, welcome to Freedom Friday.
Thank you, Carl. It's great to be back, and oh my gosh, it's like all hell has broken loose since we last talked.
It
it
has.
It's just amazing.
It has. It is amazing, and those are very appropriate words. But Ephesians 6, the spiritual battle, all hell has broken loose upon Israel. Tell us what you know.
Well, Hamas has said that Israel has unleashed hell now. And, of course, what Hamas doesn't understand that we know is that hell has already been unleashed, and we're still trying to push it back down where it belongs, in the pit.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, we've got a delay. I'm not trying to overtalk you on purpose. So just keep talking if I interrupt a thought of yours. But let me just ask you. So what is Iran's involvement in this through Hamas?
Well, it's interesting because WorldNet Daily was reporting yesterday that Iran has their Revolutionary Guard units in the Gaza Strip helping to oversee the firing of the long-range rockets.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, are we surprised? I mean, Iran is the greatest threat. Remember, Bibi went to the United Nations earlier this year. He's been going to the United Nations for the last several years, warning the world, it's Iran, folks. We got to draw a red line. And, of course, we have an administration that says, oh, no, you've got Biden who has convinced the people, because they re-voted for them to come back in. But Biden is saying, we'll know when Iran has crossed that red line. We won't let them get there. Well, you know what? They lied to us about Benghazi. They tell us that we'll know what's going on, and then they tried to suggest to us that they didn't know what was happening in Benghazi. It is unbelievable. You know, right before the elections, we were pushing the issue that I was making phone calls to my contacts in Washington, D.C., in both the House and the Senate, stating we have got to have emergency hearings before Americans go to vote on Tuesday. And it didn't happen. And now we're dealing with the fallout. And I'm telling you, we're going to find out things, Carl, that it's not going to surprise us. But a lot of Americans who voted for this team to come back into office, to give them rulership over us again, are going to be shocked. Even if, you know, I'm shocked by Americans, by and large. I can't believe that Americans could be that ignorant to put this man back into office, knowing what we know. You know, I have said repeatedly, if you look at what Obama has been doing, if you look at the policies he's been implementing, if you look at how he uses the media, it is so similar to Adolf Hitler in 1930.
Yeah.
And what Americans unfortunately have forgotten, and I speak specifically to Christians, because you know what, Carl? The secular world, they're not going to get it. But the church, do you know it's the church's vote that put Obama, that took him over the top?
I know. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to say I've spoken to that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now we've got a crisis with Benghazi now coming out. We've got the Middle East in turmoil because why? Because we've got an administration whose foreign policy is failed. Look at what happened with Libya and Benghazi. Why is that important? Well, Carl, because word is getting out that there's a possibility that there was some gun running going on in Benghazi. And guess what? They were providing those guns to the Syrian rebels who are tied to al-Qaeda. I thought we're fighting, oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, Obama is not fighting a war on terror because these are his Muslim brothers.
Yep.
And here we have Syria launching missiles into Israel. So now Israel is not just facing a battle with Gaza, now they're facing a battle on the northern front too with Syria. And so here we are in Gaza. We've got over 1,500 missiles or 1,300 rockets that have been fired into Israel. We now know that they're hitting into Tel Aviv and hitting into Jerusalem. This is very disturbing. We also know that these missiles are coming out of Iran. And, of course, what is this president doing? Have we heard anything over the last couple of days? Yes, we know he talked to Bibi, but has there been any attempt by this administration to intervene and do something? No. He's too busy wondering what the next talking point is going to be for Benghazi. Carl, I'm so sorry. I'm very frustrated. I'm frustrated with the church. I'm frustrated that we didn't get the vote out. We had the one positive thing out of the elections, and then we'll go back to the issue of Gaza and Israel.
Okay.
But the thing about this election, we had more people show up, more Christians show up to vote than ever before for Romney.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, Carl, it is because organizations like PJTN, who use the media to get the word out to the masses.
Right.
And you know something? Our message is so strategically, specifically targeted at the Christian community, and not just the Christian community who's tuned into ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. We are focused on the Christians who are listening to shows like yours, who are watching Christian television, because those are the Christians that want to be informed, they want to be on top of what's happening, and they want to be able to be given clear, concise points of action that they can take so that their voice can be heard.
Right.
And we are really, as to your listening audience and to Christians around this country, we are going to have to step up our efforts to hold the leadership accountable, because who is going to stand with Israel, Carl? We're so busy fighting this issue or dealing with this scandal in Libya that we can't adequately provide the support to Israel that she needs right now. But I will tell you, the church can, and this can be the church's greatest hour in support of Israel. Israel is reaching out to its Christian friends right now. In the last 24 hours, I've been on 3 conference calls with the Consul General to Israel. They have been briefing me to let me know what is going on, to give us the latest, so that when I get on shows like yours, I'm equipped with the information and with the talking points and action points. One of the things I want to encourage your listeners, you've got an educated base, and we need that base to make phone calls, contact their congressmen and senators, and demand that there be public retribution, that there will be a public statement by the White House, by our congressmen and our senators. I don't think we'll get it from the White House, so I wouldn't even bother calling them. But call your congressmen, call your senators. Tell them to publicly condemn what Hamas is doing and demand that they take action to put pressure on Hamas to stop, and also to provide whatever military assistance is necessary for Israel to take these terrorists out. You know, under George Bush, we were fighting a war on terror.
Laura, here's what I want to do. Listen, very well said. We've got to take a break. We're up against about a 2-minute break. When we come back, I want you to continue that thought. I want you to once again reiterate how people can get involved. Okay, Laura?
You bet.
All right, good deal. Folks, we'll be right back after this brief timeout.